Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show. I'm your host, Dominic Konoveski, and the New York Mets are fresh off of being swept in what was a doubleheader yesterday, where their bullpen ultimately, once again, let the team down. Now, it seems like this entire season, the New York Mets have dealt with bullpen woes, and that's because they have. Yet, though, we are entering the middle of July. Trade deadline is at the final day of this month, and the Metropolitans are yet to make any move for even subpar, I guess you could say, relief pitching. Instead, they have guys coming in and out on contract buyouts that they just end up DFAing after games. It's been absolutely horrible the way the Mets have managed their bullpen this season. That now leads me to a potential trade that involves the Boston Red Sox sending 37-year-old Flamethrower Aroldis Chapman over to the New York Mets. Now, even though Aroldis Chapman is in his age 37 season, he is still throwing well over 100 miles an hour. He doesn't know what the age factor is. Chapman is actually in the midst of what could possibly be his best season yet in what has been a decade-plus long career. Now, overall, any trade for Aroldis Chapman would result in the New York Mets having to give up multiple players because let's face it, the American League East is up for grabs. 4 out of the 5 teams, with the Baltimore O's being the odd team out, have a legitimate shot at winning the division. Now, I think it will be the Yankees by season's end, but the Boston Red Sox, though, have been rallying over the past week or so, and they're doing pretty solid in the standings, and at least being in, well, I guess you could say, the catboard seed. Anyways, get into the stats. Aroldis Chapman this season in 40 games where he has pitched in 37 innings flat, has pitched to the tune of a 1.22 ERA and a 0.784 whip. Now, he's currently on pace for career highs in ERA and whip this season, blowing out his previous career highs by a ton. I mean, Aroldis Chapman, he may be 37 years old. He may have been in the majors at this point for more than 12 years, but he is breaking all of his current career highs right now, and he's being one of the best relief pitchers in the league. He may actually garner 1 or 2 Cy Young votes at season's end. Now, overall, I said he's still throwing 100 miles and well above 100, and that goes into the factor of what was just a redemption arc season last year where he fully, I guess you could say, revamped his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates, even hitting 105 at one point. Now, we all know how Aroldis Chapman is in New York. He was a phenomenal pitcher for the New York Yankees up until that final year, which led to an utterly bitter divorce. But when it comes to pitching, though, in Citi Field, how would he necessarily do? Now, obviously, we don't have any numbers of Chapman on the Mets because he's never been on the Mets, but he has pitched in Citi Field 17 times. And in those 17 appearances, he's garnered a total of 15 and 2/3 innings sample size against the New York Mets, where opposition batters are 10 for 57 against him. That translates to a tune of a 175 ERA. Now, Chapman absolutely has dominated at Citi Field, and the best part is, if the New York Mets do acquire him, they don't necessarily need to use him as a closing pitcher. I think Edwin Diaz is phenomenal in that closing role, and actually the Boston Red Sox have balanced Chapman between being a regular reliever and being a closing pitcher. Now, we all know that Chapman is primarily known as being the flamethrower closer that he has always been, but the Red Sox kind of went a different path this season, and I think the New York Mets have those multiple options in front of him on how to properly use him. Nonetheless, I think Chapman would excel in Citi Field for the New York Mets. Nonetheless, comment down below what you guys think. I'm Dominic Konoveski. Take it easy, folks.